Hello, it's Paul VR, welcome back to the channel. We are here today to do some more PlayStation VR2 news, and we've got quite packed video today. I just got my hands on the brand new Comfort Kit for PlayStation VR2, which just launched, and it promises to finally take the pain out of the long VR sessions. That's if you suffer from those. Plus it's packing some clever features like cooling pads and magnetic attachments and even more. But we have to find out if it's good or not. Also, we've got some Gran Turismo 7 news, because this game has just hit another massive milestone, and trust me, it's a big one. I tell you all about that later in the video. We also got news about surprisingly deep VR hunting simulator that's shaping up to be something really special for PlayStation VR2, along with more updates from the world of PSVR2. So, with that out of the way, make sure you hit a like and press subscribe. It helps the channel a lot, it helps the channel stay relevant and it helps it grow, and I super appreciate it. Okay, let's go. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm getting this Comfort Kit, which looks pretty good on picture. I'm gonna unpack it and unwrap it, and we see how it feels on PlayStation VR2. Is it better or does it suck balls? Let's find out. So I bring up my PSVR2 here. Before we start, I want to just talk about it, what's going on here. So basically, Sony, when they released PSVR2, they wanted to improve everything what PSVR1 was doing, and PSVR1 was very comfortable headset. And they kept this design, this hollow design, but what they did, they wanted to reduce the weight quite a lot, which they achieved. It's a much lighter headset. But by doing so, they installed this like a forehead cover here. And what this cover does and how it's designed, it's basically a hollow design, there's nothing inside. While PSVR1 had this nice cushion that's spread across your forehead. And same goes for the back. Now, let's be honest here, all of us, when you play PSVR2, we're gonna bring it like this, as close to our faces as possible. And because of that, it doesn't feel great, you can feel plastic, it might hurt. So that's why there is some comfort kits. I never felt maybe like I really need one. I don't have problem with my forehead hurting, but you know, I feel like my head shape is kind of like a bit of a caveman. So maybe it's just thicker skull down there, I don't know. But in the back of my head, that's where I feel discomfort. So we see, I'm gonna install it and we see how it goes. Before I proceed with the review, I want to mention that this kit was provided to me for free, but as always, you get my honest opinion. Installing AMVR CM1 takes around 5 to 10 minutes, nothing complicated, and the included instructions are clean. I did get a bit confused with the top strap at first, but that one was on me. One important tip here, cover your lenses before you start. You need to use the included steel pry bar to remove the rear pad, and since you'll be moving your headset around quite a bit and put your hands inside it, it's easy to accidentally smudge or scratch the lenses. I wish AMVR included a simple pair of lens cover, even just one use fabric or cheap plastic ones, just for peace of mind. The rear pad and the crossbar fit quite tightly, and on my first attempt I had some gaps, I had to wiggle things around to get it seated properly, but once it's locked in, it feels very secured. The build quality is sturdy, everything feels solid and well made, the front pads attach magnetically, and you get two options, leather or ice silk gel. I went with ice silk gel version to keep things cooler, and it actually works. It feels pleasantly cool when you first put your headset on. Of course, eventually after a while it warms up to normal temperature, but it's still soft and smooth and comfortable, and I like the material, so I chose it over a leather, but it's nice that they're giving you an option. I was initially worried about the head haptics, that they might feel weaker with this kit installed, so I did obviously the only logical thing and just went off track and crashed my car in GT7, and I can confirm they work just as good as before. The top strap is a nice bonus. I'm not sure everyone will need it. We all got different shaped heads, so it might vary, but overall, once fitted, The headset feels stable, snug, and nothing shifts or rattles around. AMVR also includes spare pads, which is great for the long time use. Now, I'll be honest, I never really felt like I needed Comfort Kit for my PlayStation VR2. Yes, it wasn't as comfy as the PSVR1 was, but it was good enough, so I never really looked for one. It's never like I was fine with what PSVR2 got on offer. It's good enough. But still, when AMVR reached out to me, I thought, why not? I already own their cable pulley system that I bought some time ago on Amazon, and I really like it. It's a proper saver when you've got cable. It just makes it disappear basically. So I figured out I give this one a shot as well. And it did surprise me. Once it's on your head, it just stays there. You don't have to keep readjusting every few seconds or minutes. Maybe let's not be too dramatic, every now and then. The PSVR2 sweet spot is pretty small, and the stock Halo design can shift slightly during fast movements, so you know that's when you have to readjust. But with this kit, it locks in place beautifully. I didn't expect a huge difference, but it definitely improves the overall stability and fit on your head. So I really like that, but there is one trade-off: it adds weight. The PSVR2 alone weighs 560 grams, while PSVR1 was just around or over 600 grams. With this Comfort Kit installed, it jumps to 714 grams, so your PSVR2 will actually weigh more than PSVR1. It still feels balanced, the weight is well distributed thanks to Sony's Halo design, and I happily take that small increase in weight for this extra stability. So after using it for a while, I'm giving the AMVR CM1 Comfort Kit a solid 8 out of 10. It's well built, improves comfort, and keeps the headset stable. But it loses a whole point for the lack of lens covers. I think this is, we know how fragile those lenses are and how important those lenses are. So I think any gadgets for PSVR2 that wants you to use a still close to them lenses needs to have covers, so that's maybe something they could include in the future. But anyway, just be careful during setup or cover your lenses with something and you'll be fine. For me, this is a keeper, and I can definitely recommend it to anyone looking to make their PSVR2 more comfortable or just more secure on their head. So for myself, I don't need it for comfort. I would be fine without it. I wouldn't even try to buy it, but the fact that it's just stays so stable in my head, on my head, I really like that, and I cannot just even think of seeing myself of coming back to the stock PSVR2 pads, because that's how well it fits. So for some of you who experience pain from PSVR2, that will definitely work as well. For me, the pain was not, I was alright. So, but I really like it. It's huge difference of how nice it stays on your head. So let me know what you're thinking, and yeah, let me know. Now, let's go and do some news. And we begin from Phasmophobia, Nell's Diner. I know last time I said dinner, forgive me, foreign person here. Nell's Diner is finally opening its doors. The brand new map officially launches across all platforms on 11th of November this year. They even gave you time, 12 PM GMT. That's a target, they saying, so they saying keep eye on Phasmophobia official socials just in case it changes. I think the time, not the actual date. This isn't just another haunted house. Nell's Diner is a completely new type of location with 13 rooms, 11 possible ghost spawn points, and tons of new interactions for both players and spirits. It is set in Tuscan's most infamous late-night diner, and the developers promise plenty of secrets waiting to be discovered. Now, moving on to another story, this is for all of you hunters. This next one is the one game I'm personally keeping an eye on. Virtual Hunter just keeps getting better. Even though the game has already hit full release on Steam, The developers are still hard at work improving visuals and performance, while of course also developing the PSVR2 version for all of us who watches this channel. The latest update completely remodeled the red deer, the very first animal ever made for this game, bringing it up to modern standards with higher detail, improved fur textures and a much more realistic look overall, so it's a big step up and it really shows how far this game has come from its early access launch so many years ago. They've also tackled loading stutters when moving across the map, so performance feels smoother and more stable, a big deal for a game that relies on a long immersive haunts through open wilderness. And what's even more interesting is that some of those improvements might actually be linked to the PlayStation VR2 optimization process. The developers are clearly preparing this game to shine once it hits PlayStation VR2, and considering how in-depth the gameplay already is, this could end up being the first true hunting simulation on PSVR2. Anyone remember that shitty Turkey Hunter game on PSVR1? That was just terrible. Anyway. The game already supports up to 6 players online, allowing you and your mates to track, stalk and hunt together across massive realistic maps. It's a unique experience that simply doesn't exist on PlayStation VR2 right now, and when it finally lands, it's going to fill this gap in this headset library that always been there since PSVR wonders, so you know, where there wasn't no good hunting game. You can already grab this one on Steam if you got VR headset, but of course here we all waiting for PSVR2 version on the way, which is on the way, but there is no release date yet. But here is the important part, you can wishlist this game right now on PlayStation Store, and that really helps the developer. Wishlisting boosts visibility on the store, which means more attention to the game, which probably means more funding for VR developers if their games getting discovered, and ultimately it leads to more good PSVR games for all of us. So for free, you can just support them that way. So go and wishlist it. This is the more realistic hunting simulator, and if you want those types of game, yeah, make sure you to do so. The link is in the description. Okay, anyway, next up we've got some great news for creative virtual reality fans. Discovery 2 is getting very close to the release on PSVR 2. The developers said PlayStation 5 version is quite special. It is going to include 2 modes, a standard flat mode, big speeds, spitting on flat people with their boring flat shitty lives, pathetic, more speeds. And also it will have a full VR mode for PlayStation VR 2. Now, having both modes in one package actually makes the process a bit slower, as they say on Discord, since it needs to go through Sony's QA and certification for both versions, not just one. But the good news is that development is clearly moving forward. The team even said they be recording some PSVR gameplay footage soon, so stay tuned for that. If you remember, Discovery 1, it was a classic PlayStation VR 1 building game, where people spent hundreds of hours crafting, exploring and building entire city blocks, block by block. So, seeing its sequel so close to launch and fully enhanced for PSVR 2, it's a great win for PSVR 2 creative people and players. Now, once again you'll be able to build houses, villages or even entire cities. You can explore underground caves and experiment with electric circuits under a full day and night cycle with over 220 unique blocks and materials to work with. Moving on to the next story, and this is a major moment for the world of sim racing and Gran Turismo fans, because first ever fully sanctioned FIA sport event is about to happen, and it's using none other than Gran Turismo 7. This marks the first time an esport competition will officially operate under FIA's new International Sporting Code for Esports, a major step towards treating virtual racing with the same legitimacy as real-world motorsport. The event is part of MENA Esport Championship, bringing together the best drivers from across the Middle East and North America. It will take place in Amman, Jordan, from November 13th to 15th with 40 top qualifiers narrowed to 24 finalists, all competing inside Gran Turismo 7. This game had connection with FIA and it goes quite back. The Gran Turismo World Series actually started with FIA recognitions, but in the GT Sport days that was, and then winners were even awarded trophies at the official FIA or FIA, I don't know how you want me to say it, anyway, prize giving ceremony right alongside Real World Formula 1 Championship. The new chapter is this new chapter is different though. It's the first event directly governed by FIA regulations, meaning everything from stewards to race directors will operate under official FIA, I don't know why I swapped how I say it, FIA protocol. In other words, virtual motorsport just becomes official motorsport. And while this doesn't necessarily mean that FIA name is returning to the Gran Turismo World Series, just yet it does mean that the FIA interest is in the esport racing, it is stronger than ever. And that's it for today. Let me know what you think about the games I showed and about the PSVR2 Comfort mod. And for now that's it. If you like what you've seen, then please press a like because it does help the channel a lot. And if you're new to the channel and are not subscribed, then subscribe. It's always better when it's more of us. And that's it. Bye.